Hi everyone. This is the start of my video diary on having a FUE hair transplant, and I want to share this because it's been a long journey for me. 10 years of hair loss from when I first started, and um, wanting this for a number of years, and then making that final decision. It's really been down to the online communities, people sharing their experiences, and in fact, all of it has been about that until the point where you meet the doctor. Getting to that point, you're on your own, and you rely on people sharing their experiences. So that's what I want to do is give some of that back. And also, I think it would be good for me to document the progress so I can look back at it and see how far I've come in a year's time, hopefully. So 10 years takes me back to I'm 34 now, so I was 24, and I remember losing a bit of hair. It was falling out at quite a rate, a lot more. Now I don't notice any hair falling out physically. I just gradually over the years have noticed it on top. But at the start, I would sit at my desk at work and literally sweep up the hairs, and um, you could count them every day just on my desk at work. So it was a very traumatic start at 24, and after a year, I started to actually notice it on my head. I didn't notice it for the first year. I think you can lose quite a lot of hair without really seeing the effects of that. And that's the point where I started using Nazoral. So on the forums, then online, it's all um, quite big at that point. Even over 10 years ago, I'm sure it's been a lot longer than that. So I did that for a year. Um, I wanted to do everything I could, so I started Nazoral shampoo as well. That's something recommended. And then fast forward probably another year or two, and I spoke to my GP about taking medication because I'd read about that, and he said yes, and was willing to prescribe it, and said think about it. And for my own personal reasons, I thought about it and thought I don't want to go down the medication route. I want to see what my hair loss is like, because at that point I only had a receding hairline, and it was thin, but not as thin as it is now. So I let it go, and I didn't ever start medication, and that's a decision I've stuck with. And the doctors that I've spoken to have been okay with that. But it is a big part of the planning for the surgery is the long term. If you're not going to take the drug, then of course you're going to have to look at other options and accept that you might lose more hair. So I looked at loads of doctors, and I've been looking for probably 2 or 3 years now, and I looked at doctors all over the world, literally all the recommended ones, and then there was a couple Joe Tillman recommends. And when I met with Dr. Ball, and this was only in January, I'd had an online meeting with David, and really great guy, and he gave me all the information I needed. He seemed to just understand, and he's someone that's been through multiple hair transplants, and he knows what it's all about. He's had every kind of treatment that you can imagine. So he's first-hand experience and absolutely not trying to convince you to buy surgery off of them. So I appreciated that, and I thought about it for a few months, and then I met with him and Dr. Ball at the surgery in January down in Portsmouth, and it's a really nice place. And the staff are just, I felt very relaxed going in there. Dr. Ball himself, very honest, confident, but not at all pushy, and is willing to listen to everything that you've got on your mind, like not wanting to take medication, and the areas that I want addressed, and the type of surgery that I would like, FUE, FUT. Again, there was never a question. It was just okay if that's what you want, and actually that is the best option. Let's look at that. So he designed a hairline. There's photographs on the forums I put on, and instantly I just liked it. I don't want, for me personally, because I'm used to having such little hair on top for the last number of years, I don't want to just put it back, because I'm not going to touch the crown at this point. The crown is thin, but I'm happy, and I never think about the crown. And for me, it is about one thing I'll say: photographs. or if you look at like a camera or CCTV camera, you see yourself walk past, you think, Christ, you got no hair. It looks like literally my hair's down here. But it's not that bad. But obviously I've lost a lot of hair, and even on this camera, it looks like there's no hair there. But when you actually have a look, there is hair there. It's just the camera light affects it. But also saying that, there's not a lot left, and it is very light and very thin. So Dr. Ball drew the hairline, and without asking me, he just drew his design, and I really liked it. We're going to come back. It's going to be receded, but naturally, it's either you're bald or, for me, you've got some hair, and that's what I want. I'm not trying to go back to where I was when I was in my early 20s. So that's, for me, as soon as he drew that, I said, yeah, you've got exactly the same thoughts as me. And we agreed that week, I'll put deposit down, I think it was that week, and fast forward 3 months, and we're in COVID, so it's not been any different. I've got to take a test basically 3 days before, so I've done that. Send that off just this morning. So it's Monday today, and the surgery's on Friday. So Thursday I'm going down, meeting him in the evening at 4 o'clock, and he's going to do the final design. We're going to agree that, and then shave my head, do the paperwork, etc. So I'm staying the night in a hotel down there. There's a hotel literally next door, looks good. And then get up in the morning, I think it's 7:30 start, and he's going to do 2,000 grafts. And again, some of the proposals I had were, let's put your hairline back and put 3,000 in here, but he's drawn it how I like it, and I really do think 2,000 is going to make a hell of a difference. That's 2,000 grafts, that's several thousand hairs. I've not lost that many in the last few years, so yeah, looking forward to that. And it's just, I guess at this point, I'm not feeling nervous. I don't know why. I think it's because it's something I really want, and I've chosen to do. And I would honestly be more nervous going to the dentist to have a big operation on my mouth. I think, this for me, I'm not. And I think it's the Karen at the surgery. She rang me last week, and we went through everything. And I didn't actually have any more questions because I'd already had so much good information. But there were a few little bits that came to mind talking to her, and she's just really helpful. Things like, what are we going to do for lunch? Can I take my own lunch, put it in the fridge? It's just, they feel like a really nice, open team. No questions left. It's just very easy to talk to, very experienced, genuine people. So I'm looking forward to that. And like I say, I looked at a number of options and doctors and considered it for a number of years. So it's not been a quick decision, but I feel very confident in my final decision. So I want to document this and share it with everyone. And I'm looking forward to looking back in a year's time and seeing, where I've come. And I'm feeling really positive about this now. So I suppose the last thing is like talking about hair. So he's going to do this design here. We're going to leave the crown, but I feel like I've got quite a lot left if we want to do stuff in the future. You can see the back. Yeah, there's quite a lot of bone area there. I forget what the density is, but he said it's about average. It's quite dense hair. There's a lot in there. So yeah, lots to come in the next few weeks. So I'll update immediately after the surgery. I might do one on the night before, once I've got my head shaved, and just see how that looks. First time I've ever shaved my head, so that'd be interesting. And yeah, it's a bit of a journey. I think it's been a long time coming. I've been looking at other people having hair transplants for years, and there's a few people, the obvious ones out in the media, and it's actually not so obvious. It's Elon Musk. I think he's one of the guys that everyone claims has had a hair transplant, and he literally went from not having a lot of hair to having perfect hair. Don't know whether he did or not, but people like that, you see them reversing the stages of hair loss, and you think it is not for everyone. Some people are happy shaving their heads. I've never wanted to. Uh, I actually really miss my hair, and that's the truth in this. Is for me, I want it back. So if there's an option to get it back, then that's what I'm gonna do, and share that with everyone. So happy to do that, and talk to you soon.